Hi everyone, welcome to Law Chat 101 with your legal BFF, Girija Patel. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you 5 basic steps that you need to take in order to start your business today. I know with the mass exodus of the whole employment world today, that there are lots of you out there that are wanting to start a business and you just don't know where or how to start. Now, these quick, easy steps are going to help you kind of navigate your way into figuring out your business, but then also to just starting it and, getting a head start for yourself so you're not stressed out about the ABCDs of the foundation that you need to lay out for starting your business today. And now, before we start though, a couple things. Number one, the information that I'm sharing on this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not for one specific business or industry. It is pretty generic in nature. So if you do have questions that are very particular to your business, go and seek a professional so that they can help you and advise you and give you the right information for your business. And number two, that I am so thankful that you are listening and tuning into today's Law Chat 101 and Law Chat in general. And because this is amazing information coming out, information that lots of people can actually benefit from, please share it with your friends and family. And also so that you don't miss out on next time's Law Chat 101s or on future Law Chat podcasts coming out, subscribe so you are up and ready with everything that's coming out that is new and hot from Law Chat with Girija. Okay, let's get started. So 5 basic things to get done when you are starting a business. Now, of course, there's many other things that you might need to get done, but these are some of the 5 basic foundational pillars that you need. Number 1 is a business plan. It's a place where you're putting your ideas out. You're doing the SWOT analysis, the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat analysis. You're trying to figure out how viable your business is. You're also trying to project how much money you need, and you're also trying to see which is the best way to get that money and what are my expenses going to be? What kind of pricing do I need to do for my product or my services? Who's going to buy my product and services? Who's my target audience? How am I planning on marketing to them? So this business idea is a great starting point. You may not have everything there. You may not have all the ideas cultivated, and that's okay. A business plan is a living document. It is not something that's set in stone. You can always come back to it. You can always add on it. You can always build on it as well. And it can just change as well as your products and services diversify, or as you're making some pivots in your businesses as well. So business plan is very important because it helps you figure out what your idea is. It also gives you a better pulse on the viability of your idea and the direction that you need to head towards when you're first building your idea and when you're first starting your business. Also, when you have a business plan, sometimes banks want to see that business plan, or investors, or people that, whether they're actual investors or people, friends and family type investors, people want to see the business plan so that they can see and understand your vision. Otherwise, it may not be easy to communicate it. So have a business plan there. I have talked about the business plan multiple times on my podcast and even on Law Chat 101. So I'm going to be putting in all of those links in the Law Chat notes as well. So that way you can easily understand what can possibly go into a business plan as well. Number 2 is that you are wanting to decide on the entity. Now, the entity type could be just a sole proprietor if you're just one person. It could be a general partnership if you're more than one person, 2 or more partners of the business. Now, those are default settings. They are settings that are given to you just by the mere fact of starting a business. And what that means implication-wise, generally on the big 2 high-level things of liability and also of tax consequences. So liability with sole proprietorships and general partnerships is that you're exposing your personal assets to the liability as well. So whatever is personal can be attacked if there is a liability or a claim or some type of matter, especially in court, that becomes litigious. And so the personal assets become fair game at some point. Now, with the taxation, generally it's passed through income. So whatever you're making in your business is not going to be taxed on a business level and then on a personal level. It's just going to be passing through and you're going to be taxed only once. So that is usually the big umbrella liability and taxation issues. Now, if you choose to be an LLC or a limited partnership, or some other form of entity formation, which is absolutely okay. You just need to figure out what goes with your business the best way and what aligns with the visions that you have in the future. Then accordingly, you have to file for those formations, or you have to let the Secretary of the State of your state know that you are wanting to file the business formation, the LLC. Now, again, the DBAs, the doing business as, the assumed names, can be acquired even if you have a sole proprietorship or a general partnership. And then you just go and file your DBA in the county that you are, doing business in. But if you have an LLC, you just have to file that DBA once in the county that you're doing business in, and then it automatically goes to all the other counties in the state generally. So figure out the entity formation that works best for you. I have talked multiple times about LLCs as well, so we're going to be linking some of the podcast episodes that go with the LLC conversation too. Third step is your EIN, Employer Identification Number. You can go to the IRS website and get that done. Super easy. You just need to make sure you have all the information that they're asking for. There's instructions notes as well for the EIN application, so make sure you read that, and because sometimes you can make a mistake or give the wrong information. The instruction manual is really easy to read and kind of understandable, and really helps you understand this EIN form that you're filling out. And it's a super easy form that you go online and you fill out. Now, if you're doing an LLC, wait for the formation to happen, wait for the certificate to happen, so that way you have the LLC in your hand, and then you can go form the EIN. Now, your EIN can be made even if you're a sole proprietor. You just have to give your social security number as well. A lot of banks require an EIN number or a social security number. I would highly encourage you to get an EIN number when you are trying to open a bank account for your business, because it is a business. And so having an EIN number just looks a lot more legit, even if you're a sole proprietorship or a general partnership. Number 4, which takes me to the bank account. You want to open a bank account that is separate from your personal bank account. A bank account where the money that your business is making is going to be going directly to that bank account and not to your personal account. And from a place where you are now making payments for your expenses also go through that bank account as well. It's very important to have a business bank account that is separate from your personal bank account, because you're trying to show that you're not commingling funds. You're trying to show that there's a separation between you and your business. And so having a separate bank account is one of the best ways to do that. It's not the only way, but it's one of the best ways to do that. And number 5 is having a contract. And so even if you are a single member LLC even, you want to have a company agreement, because that company agreement is between you and the entity. Because at the end of the day, the entity is one thing and you are separate from the entity. So you want to have a company agreement where you're signing with the entity, saying that the entity is protecting you from personal liability. In addition, if you have more than one member of your LLC, or even if you're a general partner, you need to have a contract between you and your partners, you and the other members. It is absolutely a must. I do not suggest otherwise for any of my clients. And the reason is because then you have everything in writing. The separation is done in writing also, and you are able to navigate sticky and uncomfortable issues. When you're first starting a partnership with anybody, it doesn't matter in what kind of entity that you're in, everything seems very rosy and golden. And you are probably at the peak of that relationship in the sense of, yay, we're so happy to get together. But then whenever there's a small hiccup, or when there's a big hiccup or a big issue, that contract that you have between each other, between you and the company, or you and your partners, is going to be extremely helpful to navigate those situations that become very uncomfortable, especially where money is concerned, or especially when there is a disagreement on concepts and disagreement on ideas and even on the vision of where the company is going. So have a company agreement that really identifies all of that and identifies who has how much majority ownership or minority ownership, and how the decisions are made, and then also if there is exiting, how does that look and what's the impact on the company. And if something were to happen to one or more of the members, then how do you handle that? And the company agreement really helps on figuring all of that out. Now, those are the top 5 things that you kind of need to do when you're setting up a business. But another bonus thing that you absolutely need to do also is to make sure that the name of your company is available. If your name of your company is not available and there's somebody else using that name in the same capacity that you might be using it for the same products or services, you might be infringing on somebody else's trademark. And when you do that, you are now investing a lot of money into branding, into creating websites, into creating paraphernalia, marketing paraphernalia for your company with a name that potentially could be infringing on somebody else's trademark. And when that happens, not only have you now maybe spent a lot of money on something that has to be redone, but you've also exposed yourself to a huge bunch of liability for trademark infringement, and that's something that's just not cool. And so if you just do a really quick search for the name to make sure that you are kind of solid on the name front, then you're going to be fine. So how can we do those quick searches? I have that on a podcast as well on Law Chat 101, so I'm going to quickly review that with you right now as well. Number one is you can do a quick Google search, do social media search also. You can also go to the USPTO. It's a government website for the United States Trademark Office and see if anybody has that name trademarked. And then also you can go to your state, your local state Secretary of State office and see if anybody has already filed that name before you try to file it and waste time if somebody has already filed that exact same name. So with that being said, good luck. If you have more questions, please email. If this was super helpful to you, share it with somebody else who can benefit from this information as well. And again, subscribe and share the love. Thank you so much and see you next time.